All right, people, it is time for what I believe is going to be an educational and valuable experience for all of us. I think by the time we're done with this segment today, I think we'll all laugh, we'll all cry, but most importantly, we'll all grow together, because what we're going to do today is talk about the weird world of scene music. The other day we went down the nu metal iceberg, and I think we learned a lot from that. I think we all grew together. And today we're going to go down the scene music iceberg, because, you know, the thing with the scene music, and when I say scene music, I mean all the MySpace stuff from whatever, 2007 to 2010-ish, something like that. It was weird. It was really, really, really weird. And it's so strange that in hindsight, I don't know, we all just treated this stuff like it was normal, and it was definitely not normal. The more distance we get from like the scene era, the more I just kind of scratch my head. I'm like, what was going on? It's like a big fever dream. It was weird. It was weird. So today we will go down the scene music iceberg. We'll try to figure out what the hell was going on. Why was this a thing? What were we thinking? I'll start by breaking it down into categories. This video is sponsored by the metalcore band Gold Souls. Let's check out Gold Souls. This is Walk the Other Way featuring Ryo Kinoshita, formerly of Crystal Lake. And this one is called Eyes on Fire. And if you want to hear more from Gold Souls, you can check them out on YouTube and Spotify. Just hit the links in the description of this video. The first category of scene music, to what I think of sort of the classic prototypical scene music, to me, is crabcore, which, of course, as we all know, was based on this iconic moment from the Attack Attack video for Stick Stickly. I guess people thought that they looked like crabs here because of their stance. So they called it crabcore. And then because Attack Attack blew up off of this video, then there were like literally hundreds, if not thousands, of bands all over the world imitating Attack Attack and Asking Alexandria and all these other bands. It was like a cottage industry, like a whole genre of music of like all these bands from like Russia and Brazil and literally everywhere all over the world trying to become the next Attack Attack and Asking Alexandria and become the next like MySpace scene heartthrobs. And some of them were pretty good, but most of them not good. I thought crabcore was coined by metal trolls back in the day. It was, but then Attack Attack, they're smart. So they said, you know what? We're going to own this shit. And they started making crabcore shirts. I remember I saw them on Warped Tour like 2010, I think. And they had shirts that said Columbus Crabcore. Good move. Good move. You guys know all about Attack Attack and the Devil Wears Prada and Asking Alexandria. You guys know all about that stuff. So what we're here to do is go down the iceberg. That's what we're here to do. Talk about some of the stuff hidden below the surface. All those bands that I talked about that popped up all over the world that wanted to imitate the good ones. I think maybe one of my favorites is Capture the Crown, which was basically the Australian knockoff of Asking Alexandria, but much, much, much worse. Just like checking every single box. We've got the ripped jeans, the deep V's, we've got the crab coring in an abandoned warehouse, even copying like Danny Warstop's like hand movements. Just copy and paste Asking Alexandria. I like this part here. So, of course, one of the most important parts of any metalcore video, you got to have rain, right? You have to. You got to have rain, ideally on like the drummer's cymbals. So he hits the snare drum, goes psh, in slow motion, shows the rain splashing off the drums in a cool way. Well, these guys, I guess down in Australia, they don't have rain machines or something. So they just had like one of their friends with a hose outside the frame of the video here, just spritz me with a hose, mate. Just spray me with a hose. The other thing that I liked these bands would do is they had the ego riser, which was, you know, when they would start having the little shelf on the stage that the singer would stand on during the cool chorus parts. Well, again, I guess down in Australia, they didn't have ego risers. They couldn't afford that. So he's just got this like rusty paint can that he's that he's putting his foot on. I like it. Hey, listen, you guys might laugh. I respect the ingenuity. Necessity is the mother of invention. Just, hey, mate, give me that paint can from the corner. How does it feel, bitch? Oof, these vocals. He sounds like Marge Simpson. Oh, this is my favorite. I swear to God, mate. I swear to God, mate. This is a nice little detail here that I never noticed before. On his Epiphone Les Paul here, he just took duct tape and made it say fuck. If I was his mom, I would say his name is probably Calum or something like that. Something Australian. I'd say, Calum, why did you have to put the F word on your guitar in the video? I'm disappointed. So edgy. Yeah, we don't use potty words. Getting down the iceberg, some proper Australian budget crabcore. Another one of these weird kind of discount Ask Alexandria cover bands from scattered across the world. This was one of them. Make Me Famous. This is Dennis Stoff, his old band. He went on to be in Asking Alexandria for, I don't know, a year or something like that. Song is called Blind Date 101. Some real, like, budget crabcore. That's what I like to call it. Budget crabcore, you know, like the wish.com crabcore. Warning, this video will make you feel awkward, uncomfortable, leave you asking yourself, what the fuck did I just watch? It will, but not for the reasons that they intended. Oh, the drummer for this band was in Rose's funeral. I did not know that. That's right, and this song is basically a mashup of 4 other different metalcore songs. Here's the Veil, Ask Alexandria. 2 different Ask Alexandria songs. It's a good-looking guy, that's for sure. Oh, wait a minute. They had her eating a banana. I'm not very good at, like, symbolism, but I feel like when she held up that banana and put it in her mouth, I feel like it was supposed to be symbolizing something else, and I'm not quite connecting the dots, but I feel like there's something there. Potassium deficiency, that's probably what it was. This is, like, actually a part from an Attack Attack song right here. This is a part from Stick Stickly right here. Just slightly different rhythm. Oh, see, I like that. She didn't eat the banana in a sexy way. She just bit the fucking tip off. I like it. There we go. That's my kind of girl. Bite the whole fucking thing off, mash it up in your mouth. That's what I'm after. Here we go. That's how you know. That's how you know they're from Ukraine. This is like the Ukrainian baddie that works at the BB store at the mall. You see her walking around like this in the food court, and you're like, hey now. Who's that? She bad. Here we go. This is terrible. They're trying so hard to be Asking Alexandria, trying so hard to be the rock and roll bad boys. Yeah, not good. But we're getting further down the iceberg, people. There's millions of more. I mean, if you want to talk about Casino Madrid, if you want to get really, really further down the iceberg, we could go on forever with the crabcore stuff, but I think you get the idea. I would say probably like one of the last examples of a band to really come out of nowhere. You'll remember the classic moment that Design the Skyline was signed to Victory Records. You remember this? When Victory Records announced that they had signed Design the Skyline, and this is when Victory was still considered like a prestigious label, you know, because this was what, a year or so after like A Day to Remember blew up, when Victory was like really still on their shit. They said, hey, here's the next big thing, and it was Design the Skyline. OG meme core, it's true. Back then, this band is what I thought most scene music sounded like, but they're actually kind of good. Like, this is, if you took me when I was like 16 years old and said, hey, try to sound like Dillinger Escape Plan, this is what I would do. This is what it would sound like. This is like every genre of scene music playing at the same time. And they look like elves. Imagine pressing play on a Scene Kid's iPod on every song at the same time. It would be this. I feel like a lot of people also made fun of the fact that they had like those neon green strings on the guitars, which, I don't know. I think those look kind of cool. They sound bad, but they look kind of cool. I don't know why the neon strings on the guitars were considered so offensive to people, but they didn't like it. This part's kind of cool, actually. This has honestly aged horribly or brilliantly. You can look at it as a dated relic from the past or a hilarious piece of avant-garde surrealism. Exactly. Exactly. Why not both? It's like Schrodinger's scene band. I just want to know what made Victory Records see and hear this. And they're like, yeah, sign it. Exactly. If they had beards and wore cargo shorts, everyone who hates this would love it. I think that's right. So there we go. We've gone further down the iceberg, but we're not done yet because the next part of the scene iceberg is, of course, crunkcore. You guys are familiar with it from Brokencyde, of course. Everyone remembers Brokencyde. We all remember this. This song and this video have been discussed on the internet to death. There's nothing that I have to add about Brokencyde other than to say, put some respect on their name. 15 years later, I think we all know this was a classic, but the genre of crunkcore goes much, much deeper than just Brokencyde, people. This is the very, very beginning. This is just the very tip of the crunkcore iceberg. It goes much deeper than this. For example, you may remember Breathe Carolina. This is like the weird like version of Cobra Starship minus the irony. Like Cobra Starship was sort of deliberately douchey and bad. And Breathe Carolina was like, yeah, let's do that, but non-ironic. The thing that was really interesting to me about crunkcore, especially like this version of it, is that they partied. Unlike most bands in sort of the scene, these people actually seemed like kind of cool and attractive, and they partied. You know, this wasn't just like a bunch of metal nerds like sweating over their guitars. These guys like partied and they hung out with like hot girls and stuff. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. Women in a video? What? I've heard of this. I understand that women exist, but they don't typically overlap. The Venn diagram of like attractive women and alternative music like rarely overlaps. Maybe they just touch a little bit here and there, but with this stuff, they look like they partied with strippers and stuff. Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Very advanced, but it was terrible. Yes, these are the guys who could party with the cool kids despite being in the scene with the kids who didn't fit in. And as you may know, they went on to become like big time Vegas EDM dudes. And one of them is getting investigated by the SEC now for promoting some NFT. Never thought you would see this, but Tom Cooperman from Breathe Carolina indicted by the SEC for pumping and dumping stocks on Twitter and Discord. So if you ever thought that you would see Breathe Carolina appearing in an SEC filing, well, today your prediction came true. Who would have ever thought that? Breathe Carolina prosecuted for securities fraud. What a time to be alive. They went from partying with these like Hollywood strippers to getting indicted by the SEC. That was not on my bingo card either. But it goes much deeper than that. If you want to get into like some real shit tier crunkcore, we got to talk about Dot Dot Curve from Evansville, Indiana. There was like a whole scene of this stuff in Evansville. Curve and Dropping a Popped Locket and Scene Kids. And I want to say there was one other group, but like Evansville, Indiana is like a small college town in the middle of nowhere in Indiana. And I don't know, I have no idea how this became a thing, that there was like a crunkcore scene in Evansville, Indiana, but there was. And this is Curve, Rocket Ship to the Moon. Some real obscure shit tier crunkcore. Very advanced stuff. The Midwest is wild, it's true. Look, there's, what's his name? Jay from Dropping a Pop Locket with the guy from Curve. Imagine you're at the Walmart in Evansville, Indiana, or whatever this is. You go down the aisle trying to find some wrapping paper for your niece's birthday party, and you see these two. You're like, what's going on here? Who are these creatures? How did they find their way into Walmart in Evansville, Indiana? Pretty sure this is literally Walmart in Evansville, Indiana. This is what you do. If you're a crunkcore artist in 2009 in Evansville, where else are you going to shoot your video but the lobby of Walmart? This is like the bank at Walmart, I think. And this, I forget this guy's name, but he was the other guy in Curve. Imagine you're the neighbors. And you're like, the kids across the street are making another one of their videos. Look at this fit, people. This is like, it was rare when you'd see like a scene kid in the wild like this, but this is the Midwest scene kid. He's got his like puffy white shoes here. He's got the plaid shorts and, you know, the brightly colored like DGK shirt or something like that. The plaid shorts is how you know that you're in Indiana. That's how you know. But in all seriousness, though, I think he was like 17 or something and he did this. This is actually, like, it's legitimately pretty good for, like, something a 17-year-old made in his, like, bedroom in Evansville, Indiana in 2008. It's actually pretty catchy. In all seriousness, I actually thought this was cool because it was, like, very DIY and punk in its own way. You know what I mean? Like, this is just kids from the middle of nowhere making music without having any concept of like what the rules were or anything like that. And like, I genuinely think it's cool. You know, is it good? Well, no, it's terrible. But I think it's cool that they just were like doing, you know, just being creative, doing what they could with what they had and where they were. I think it's cool. I like it. It's terrible, but I actually think it's cool. Now, in my opinion, the real kings of crunkcore are Hollywood Undead. I feel like they sort of don't want you to remember that these songs exist, and you'll understand why in a minute. If you recall, they blew up on MySpace back in 2004, 2005, something like that. They were the first band on MySpace Records. They were #1 on MySpace for a while before they were signed and stuff. You know, they've sort of turned into like a new metal-y butt rock band now. But real scene kids will remember their very early songs, which are peak crunkcore, and you'll understand after you see the lyrics, you will understand why they don't want you to remember these songs anymore. I think this shit slaps. I do. This is Dead in Ditches by Hollywood Undead. Oh, there it is. There it is. Right at the beginning.
Fucking faggots. That's when we ride on bitches. You fucking faggots, bitches.
What a chorus. He wants me to hit a bong and get hard. Hey, listen. Back then, that's just how we rolled. Yeah, you know, back then, the F word, you know, the F word, yeah, it was a different time. That's all I have to say. I'd like to know. I'd like to go see him and say, hey, do you guys still play Dead in Ditches or no? The other thing you may know them for is starting the career of a young influencer named Jeffree Star. Once again, you know, you may know Jeffree Star for being friends with Kylie Jenner or whatever, and starting a multi-million-dollar makeup company. But I remember Jeffree Star for having a song with Hollywood Undead where he talks about sucking your boyfriend's dick.
This is Jeffree fucking Star, and this is a big fuck you to all you jealous bitches. You get mad that I'm fucking your boyfriends, and don't get mad that they suck my dick and then they make out with you after. Oh. Girl, if you're from Orange County, I'll fuck you right, and I think J-Dog's right.
Hey, listen, it was another time. All I'm saying is, people, if you want to go deep down the scene music iceberg, you got to go back to the Hollywood Undead demos. I like the first album. Swan Songs, I think, is really good. I don't like any of their other stuff, but the demos that you can only get on MySpace, that's the real top tier shit. So go back and check out Dead in Ditches, the Jeffree Star songs, where they're talking about mad boobies, clean boobies, mean boobies. That's the real Hollywood Undead. If you want to go deep, deep down the scene music iceberg. Now, another flavor of scene music that I found very interesting was neon pop punk. Most famous example of that being Metro Station. Featuring your man Trace Cyrus. No one remembers Mason. That's his name, right? Mason is the other guy. Did you know, by the way, that neon pop punk, do you know who coined that term? This guy on my blog back in 2010 or something like that. I coined the term neon pop punk. People use it. I don't get credited for it, but I came up with it. It is true. I invented the term. Now, neon pop punk, there was a lot of it. I feel like there's a whole video to be made going down the neon pop punk branch of the scene music family tree. And this song is legitimately great. But what I like is not the good neon pop punk like Metro Station and Forever the Sickest Kids, who were like legitimately, great music. What I'm interested in is the like lower tier kind of like not so good neon pop punk. In my opinion, the most neon song and video of all time is Party in Your Bedroom by Cash Cash. This is the most neon video and song of all time. Look at these fits, people. You've heard me say many times that the 2000s were the peak of human civilization. If you didn't believe me before, now seeing these like 5'4" Egyptian kids wearing like neon zebra outfits, if that didn't convince you, then I don't know what will. I actually think this song is legitimately great. Big Time Rush did steal their sound, it's true. Listen to this fucking chorus, it's great. I want to look up who wrote this because I'm pretty sure Sam and Slogo wrote this. Yeah, so this was produced by Dave Katz and Sam Hollander, better known as Sam and Slogo, who also wrote a bunch of shit, for example, with Boys Like Girls, All Time Low, Panic at the Disco. That's Sam Hollander. And then Dave Katz wrote for Metro Station, We the Kings, Cover Starship, 303, Good Charlotte, Hollywood Undead, Mandy Moore. That was his first breakthrough song. So the same guy who wrote this song, if you're thinking, damn, this song is good, the reason why is the same guy that wrote this song is also the one who wrote Candy by Mandy Moore. And that's why this is such a fucking good song. Fun facts about Cash Cash. Number one, the metal blog that I used to do back in like 2008 or so, if you guys remember, I had a blog called Metal Inquisition where we made fun of like old thrash and death metal stuff. One of the guys that I did that blog with, who went by the name Gene Hoglin's Balls, he was their RA in college. I think they went to Rutgers, somewhere in New Jersey. He was their RA in college, which was kind of funny. Number two, fun fact is that they became very successful like Vegas EDM DJs as well. So this is like the pipeline of like crappy, like C tier, like scene music to like Vegas EDM DJ. Very odd, very unexpected. To my knowledge, they have not gotten nabbed by the SEC yet, but who knows? The night is still young. Either way, if you haven't checked out the Cash Cash EP, definitely do. Top tier stuff. And we're getting further and further down the iceberg. But here's some real. This is not even like C tier. This is like some Z tier. Z tier neon pop punk scene music. You guys remember videos like this, right? The Windows Movie Maker, like 4:3 blue background kind of videos. Very obscure band called Schoolboy Humor that had a song called Camera Shy. So this song, which is actually pretty good. This aesthetic needs to come back. We need the Windows Movie Maker lyric videos to come back. Catchy chorus. But that's not what I'm here to tell you about. I'm here to tell you about Anthony Evans, which is the guy from Schoolboy Humor who decided that he was going to become maybe the next Justin Bieber. He said, I'm being held back by being in Schoolboy Humor, so I'm going to start a solo career as Anthony Evans, and this is his debut single, Everything a Boy Could Ask For. which in 11 years, in 11 years, it has 2,200 views with one comment, come to Brazil.
Hey, shorty.
Hey, shorty.
Welcome to AE World.
Welcome to AE World. This is my favorite. His name is Anthony Evans. He opened his song by saying, hey, shorty, welcome to AE World. I just wish I had this level of confidence.
Welcome to AE World.
He thought he was going to be famous. He does look like Z's. It's true. He's beautiful. He is. I'm jealous. He's very beautiful. The voice is a bit of a problem. I just look at that hair, man. Obviously, I wish I still had a full head of hair, but look at this beautiful Karen hair. Just perfectly manicured eyebrows. Like, I like how he's plucked his eyebrow sort of halfway there. Usually you draw them in. I guess he didn't feel like drawing in his eyebrows that day, but what a beautifully groomed man.
I've been waiting on a shy girl.
I've been waiting on a shy girl.
I've been waiting on a night girl.
Look at that. And shredded 8-pack. I mean, look, if I looked like this man, I wouldn't wear a shirt. I wouldn't even own a shirt if I looked like this guy. Just, he's the ultimate scene fuckboy. It's true. When you max out your physical stats and put nothing into vocals. It's like, welcome to AE World. We're just going to be over here looking wistfully off this bridge with our perfectly manicured hair and the diamond earrings. I like it. Here's my favorite thing. I just randomly found these in the related videos. I don't know why I thought this was so funny. Anthony Evans of Schoolboy Humor doing a handstand. Anthony Evans from Schoolboy Humor entertains the kids by doing a handstand for them. So this is him in 2010 at like a college or something in San Diego doing a handstand. I don't know why. I don't know why I like this so much. I hope he takes a bow afterwards. Take a bow, Anthony, for entertaining the kids. But that's not all, people. That's not all. He wants attention so badly. I have no, like, where did this come from? A 4-second video from 2010 of Anthony Evans doing a backflip, like, I don't know, in the lobby of some hotel or something. This is my new brand too. Really nicely done, Anthony. Very impressed. Keep up the good work. Can't wait to hear your new music. There it is. So I hope that whoever made this video still has this email. So I hope they get a notification that like somebody with a verified YouTube account commented on your video of Anthony Evans doing a backflip from 2010. This is all I ever wanted to be, is Anthony Evans. Now, the very, very bottom of the scene music iceberg, which I feel like has been forgotten. I don't know why, but I feel like it's been forgotten, is the bedroom pop, like sensitive singer-songwriter kind of corner of it, with the big standout artist of that genre being Never Shout Never. There's also like Steven Jerzak and Nicasaur also would sort of fit into this, but Never Shout Never, definitely the biggest artist in this sort of branch of the scene music family tree. Play Radio Play, yes, that's a good one. By the way, he wrote all these songs himself. Like, he was probably 16 or 17 when he did this. This guy, Christopher Drew, was insanely fucking talented. Just a fucking god tier musician. He's incredible. But like, imagine being this talented when you're like fucking 16. So talented. Super talented guy. And he got like kind of like mainstream popular. He got pretty big. And so of course there were tons and tons of people being like, oh, all I need to do is have like a cute scene haircut and get a ukulele and I can be the next Never Shout Never. Unfortunately, turns out it's a little bit harder than that. My favorite example of this subgenre, if you asked yourself, what happens if you take Never Shout Never, give him an even cooler haircut, but maybe minus the musical talent? Well, then you would get what I would consider the very, very, very bottom, just the absolute bottom of the scene music iceberg, Romance on a Rocket Ship. Let's check them out.
Find our own fungus and learn how to care for it.
Ooh, she wants it. Look at, and who wouldn't want that? You see, look at this babe checking out Mr. Scene over here. Who wouldn't want him? He looks like he's wearing a wig. That is some intense scene hair. And listen to the auto-tune on this. Listen to this auto-tune. Like, I'm a horrible singer. This is what it sounds like if you use auto-tune to make someone as bad as me, like on pitch. This is what I sound like when I'm auto-tuned. I hope it's a wig. It would be really cool. It'd be very advanced if he was actually like a normie, you know, that worked at like American Eagle or something. And when he wanted to perform, he just put on his scene hair wig. Yeah, and a magnet piercing. Yeah, it's all cap. It's a wig and a fake piercing. Playing guitar in a song that has no guitar in it. I always like that. Uh-oh, a lion. Let's get this party hopping. I liked when bands like this would write songs about get the party hopping when their fans were like literally 12 years old and the only party they had been to is like, you know, their friend's birthday party at church where you like bring them a fucking Barbie doll and a donut. Sounds like a song from 3rd grade music class. That's right. We need the cozy representative to make us a 3.5-hour video about the real story of Romance on a Rocket Ship. Tell us his entire life story. So people, if you want to go all the way down the scene music iceberg, then here it is, people. Here it is, the very bottom of the scene music iceberg. You had ... Curve, Romance on a Rocket Ship, Make Me Famous. It was a fever dream. Like, I don't know what happened. I don't know what was in the water and the air at the time, but that's what we were doing in 2008. And yeah, there you go, people. I hope you survived this perilous journey to the bottom of the scene music iceberg. We made it, people. We made it.